I am so excited because the all-new CLA Electric is finally here, and I've only briefly sat in it. We're going to go through it for the first time together, but this is the most technologically advanced car ever in Mercedes-Benz's history, which is wild because normally, historically, the S-Class is going to be the most technologically advanced car, and then things work their way down through the rest of the model lineup. But the way it fell, this CLA is the most sophisticated piece of technology that we have, and the price point is insane. So let's take a look at it. Now, this CLA is the very first car to launch on Mercedes' new MMA platform. And what that means to you is that these cars are designed such that they can be an EV, or they could accept a hybrid powertrain, or they can accept an internal combustion engine, which means that moving forward, you're gonna have consistent styling across all of those variants of cars, right? So the CLA Electric that is here now will look just like the plug-in hybrid variant, which will follow, and then the gas car, which will follow after that. Unlike the EQS, for example, which was a standalone styling that was different from the rest of the model family, right? So an EQS, although it's meant to be the GLS of the electric SUVs, it doesn't look like a GLS, right? Now this CLA is quite different, right? So you're looking at what the next generation CLA will look like if you opt for a hybrid or a gas engine. So new styling with the Mercedes-Benz stars in the headlights. You've got a light bar that goes across. You have an illuminated grille here, and really, really sharp car, very futuristic looking without looking explicitly like an EV-only vehicle. And around to the back, we have new taillights that span the car, and we finally have an accessible front for the first time. You've got a panorama fixed sunroof, so this roof does not open, which is a la Tesla, right? But it is a panorama roof as standard. Now, as I've approached the car with the key, it has opened it to welcome me, and here is the all-new CLA interior, which is futuristic but simple. Excellent use of materials. This really cool kind of open finished trim here, this light sandwood trim, and you've got the super screen spanning the length of the car. Now this one does not have the passenger display, so you can see there's illuminated stars over there, but it does, whether you have the full length passenger display or not, you're going to get this screen that goes all the way across. Let's take a look at the rear of the car. Legroom has increased significantly. So the new CLA, quite a bit larger than the one that it replaces. So I am 5'11". I'm sitting in the back of the CLA, and you can see I've got plenty of room here. Very comfortable back here. I've got vertical space above my head, even though it is a four-door coupe body style. So very impressed with the additional legroom. Let's take a look at what we've got in the trunk. So we've got our little star here that we're going to push to get in, and a very nice deep trunk. So here's our charging cable there. Excellent. Underneath here, see, we've got some tire kit, our front plate bracket, which of course we will leave off here in Ohio unless it's needed, and some split folding seats I can see. Excellent. Now let's go inside the car and take a look at the new technology. So now, like a Tesla, I hit the brake and the car is going to power up. And check out this display here. Oh my goodness. So very similar to being in a Tesla on my center display. Not only, look at these, I can see all of the cars that are parked here in the lot, and I can even see the pedestrians as they move around. So there's Colin in the distance, and we have two of our team members that are chatting there, and you can see them moving and walking around amongst the cars. Absolutely wild. So here's the new MB.OS. This is the other big feature that is new. This is the first car to debut it. This is a completely new operating system. Oh, I'm already on the home screen. Cool. This is the first time I've interacted with this car at all. I have not been in one of these yet, so I'm learning this for the first time with all of you. And very cool. Down here we do have some hard buttons. We've got some vents here in the center, which, ooh, got some nice kind of tactical feel there. I like that. What am I looking at? So that's nav. Oh, that's going to be my Hey Mercedes. I can change the way the map is displayed, of course. Let's see. We've got car features here and settings. Got my climate control menu, which, let's turn down that air a little bit. Very cool. Now, if I want to go into radio, Sirius XM, FM radio, this is where I could probably choose between, oh, here's the radio stations, favorites, or there's the list. Awesome. And I've got my selfie cam up here. Very spacious inside. Got a frameless window or a rear view mirror there. I'm impressed. And a nice charging spot here, very easily accessible. And then, of course, one of my favorite things about the EVs is that with no drive tunnel under here, extra storage space. But let's take this for a little cruise, shall we? I'm going to see if I can wedge this camera in here just a little bit. And I can. Excellent. Let's reposition the microphone so that you're all not listening to a seatbelt rubbing up against it. I'm going to lower my seat here just a little bit to get an angle I like better. I've got to say, I'm very impressed with the fit and finish. Ooh, okay, we're in. To exit a parking space using Park Assist tapped here. So if I didn't feel like parking or exiting a parking space myself, the car would do it for me. Now I'm in D- recuperation, which that's going to be like full recoup. And by the way, I'm at 91% charge and the car is estimating 400 miles of range here. And historically, and I don't exactly have the explanation for this. I don't know if it's a combination of the battery being exercised or if it's the car learns the way that you drive it and realizes that you're not wailing on it and therefore you're going to be likely to get more range. But every EQS that I've driven over the last 4 years, I start with maybe 320 to 350 in max range, and then in warm weather and after a couple thousand miles, that number will creep up to 400 or even higher in some cases. So I wouldn't be surprised if this car can get 450 miles of range on a full charge. And by the way, it also has the 800 volt architecture, so at a proper charging station, in theory, you should be able to add 80% of charge in about 20 minutes, is my understanding. So you're getting much closer now to a fuel stop, right? If you're on a road trip, it's wicked fast, and I'm sure in 10 minutes you could do 50% charge even. But just it's amazing the way that these have advanced. So first impressions, acceleration very smooth as I expect it to be. Very weird looking at this screen. I feel like I'm in a Tesla having all these cars parked alongside of me. So the driver assistance technology in this car is even better than what we have available in the current S-Class or EQS even. And I should reiterate that Mercedes-Benzes are capable of far more impressive driver assistance than you even realize. It's just for legal reasons here in the States, what is currently allowed for legacy manufacturers is just, it's limited. But let's get our cruise control going here. I want to see. So this is a little bit different. Here we go. A little bit different than in the current EQS, but I've set the cruise control on. Now I'm going to have to get some more time sitting in here to really learn all the technology, but my understanding is that we're just talking about a significant increase in capability. One of the things that I also know is that the Mercedes-Benz app will have unlimited use now for things like remote start and all your extra features instead of a 1-year limitation. So all the MB.OS cars that are coming will have that. For that original owner, you'll have unlimited access to it, which, brilliant move by Mercedes-Benz. That is a great example of listening to your customers and their feedback on something. Look, I gotta say, the car is incredibly smooth. The acceleration is smooth. The ride quality is buttery smooth. The fact that you're getting this level of technology and refinement now in a $50,000 to $60,000 car is tremendous. Now, this is the 250, which makes it a rear-wheel drive car. So there is a 4MATIC variant available that we will have 350 4MATICs. That'll be the bulk of what we sell, but with the right tires, if you have winter tires or even a good set of all-season tires, these are still usable year-round. That's coming from somebody that drove a Ford Mustang for many years. It is possible. Obviously, all-wheel drive is preferred, but this is, I mean, tremendous range here, tremendous range potential. We're talking, I'm still showing 391 miles. That's the same as when I got in the car, and I'm at 90% charge. I'm confident that if I were to drive this car for a period of time, that range is going to start ticking up. So, range anxiety, I mean, look, how many miles are you really driving for the average person? Now, if you commute every day, super long distances, absolutely, you can make the argument that maybe you do need more range. I get that, or that the charging is still not there. But remember that these are compatible with Tesla superchargers, and so you've really got a huge number of options available to you. And for people who say, oh, these depreciate too much, well, keep in mind, the beauty of having a car that is in that $50,000 to $60,000 range is that you're at a much more attainable price point. You have a lot less distance to cover when you fall back down to zero effectively, right? I mean, one of the reasons that Hondas, Toyotas, and vehicles like that hold their value so well historically is that when you're in a $30,000 to $40,000 price point, there's not that far to drop, right? Luxury cars have always been more expensive, and so there's just more room to drop. But I think that these are going to be very desirable, not just on purchases, but also on leases. I mean, I'm really impressed. I am really impressed. This is awesome. It feels good. It drives great. I'm loving this driver assistance. I feel so overwhelmed right now, like there's just so many things. Oop, window was down a little bit. Sorry about that. I just feel like there's so much that I would need to learn and discover about this car, because this is a completely new operating system. I feel like fish out of water right now. Like I have no idea what I'm doing. But I really just wanted to get in the car, drive it for a minute, give you that feedback, and I can honestly say I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. I just love the way that EVs drive. I mean, as a daily driver, I'm hooked. That's not a sales pitch. That's just me telling you that I've been driving EQSs for the last several years by choice, and I would drive this car for sure. 100% I would drive this car. So now we're going to back in. Let's take a look at our camera system here. It's highlighting a parking spot for me. The car could park itself if I asked it to. I'm not going to ask it to do that, but really just an awesome, awesome experience. So you'll have to let me know what you think. Taking a look at it here. Love the interior. The seat is comfortable. I think Mercedes-Benz knocked it out of the park with this. And let's see. Oh, here we go. We've got our window sticker handy. This one.
Car windows can be operated using controls on the doors.
All right, cool.
The driver's door.
Yeah, all set there. 52,020 with the exclusive line, night package, 19-inch wheels. I mean, 52 grand for this. That's insane. This kind of range. I mean, look, this is very compelling. Well done, Mercedes-Benz. These are going to sell in huge numbers. I'm very confident. This car is aiming for the Tesla Model 3. Mission accomplished.